Yo, what is up? Today I'm going to talk about this film Shiva Baby, directed by Emma Seligman, written and directed by Emma Seligman. It's a 2020 comedy film which hit the theaters in 2021. It got featured in BFI's top 50 films you must see in their Sight and Sound magazine. This film basically is about a young Jewish bisexual woman uh, who's going through a lot in her life. She is at that age where we are pretty clueless about what we want to do with our career. We have a high sexual drive, uh, and we're just tired of the comparison that are made between us and the relatively successful peers of our age. So this film begins with a scene of Shiva making out with a middle-aged man, and we figure out pretty quickly that she's not in a normal relationship with this man. It's a sort of a sugar daddy relationship. The man is paying to be with this girl, and we sort of figure it out that maybe she's into prostitution and something. Then we meet a family at the Shiva. Shiva is basically it's a Jewish mourning period when someone dies, and with all the relatives of of the deceased sort of gather and have lunch and so on. We meet Daniel's family there, and we sort of get to know that she isn't in that bad a state that she should be. Sleeping with people to gain money, but later we sort of figure it out that she wants to be independent and have some of her own money because of the way society expects of young people to earn money on their own rather than rely on their parents. I believe the film is really well shot. Most of the times the camera is very in very extreme proximity of our main character Daniel, and it sort of makes us uncomfortable in the same way that she is while attending this Shiva meet, as you would like to call it. This film has a lot to say about a lot of things. It's about, as I mentioned, about that age when everyone's bugging you about career, when money is the priority. It talks about aunts and neighbors who are dying to get something out of you and your career so they can bitch about it, and how parents, though it's pretty clueless at times, they go on to brag about their children at length, which is ironically very embarrassing from the children. The film, the merit of the film lies in the fact that it's so well written, you can't guess what happens next, and whatever follows a particular scene is so organic yet so unpredictable that it has you in splits at time. Disaster happens at this meeting, at this after party, at this brunch, because Daniel is forced to confront the part of her life that she is hiding from her parents, and you can guess from her get-up that she is not willing to be a part of this Shiva. The kind of makeup and her dress up is like as if she's been dragged out of her bed to attend this. The most humor scene that comes up pretty early in this film is when she sees that the man she had just slept with has turned up with his wife and his child. I mean, imagining listening to the moans and being in the arms of someone, and then finding that that person is making bullshit formal talks with your parents. There are scenes where Shiva is talking to some old aunts, and which scene sort of refers to how people opting for a career in the arts field are looked down upon. And the filmmaker, what she does is she uses the elements present in the environment to sort of mirror the internal state of our main character. Like there's this baby crying in certain scenes of the film, and that sort of mirrors the internal feelings of Daniel. There are scenes where she talks about how academic mediocrity affects our own self-esteem and makes, a sort of develops a confusion within us, and tarnishes our relationship with our parents. There's And so what happens is that because there are certain parts of her personality that she can't very confidently present to these people, to these adults, she feels very introverted in this surrounding. We don't get to know a lot about how she is socially with her friends, but in this lunch which she's attending, she definitely is feeling like an introvert. It's like everyone is judging her, and there's a scene where her mom and her friends are talking, and she just wants to run away. Um, and the lovely writing here is the writing is top notch in this film. Other than that, there was a lot of cultural commentary in this film. There's a certain saying about how American Jewish are different than the Israeli Jewish. There's a huge cultural commentary on that. These young Jewish kids growing up in America don't have much an idea about what a Shiva really is, and things like that. So, yeah, great job at that too. Uh, the film looks at the life of a young woman through the life of women through the lens of a young woman. There are discussions in this film on questions of career, compliments on makeup, and marriage questions, and how at this very young and vulnerable age of 20, 21, how a girl sees things like sexuality and porn and dating, and how in times of confusion and a lack of a better guide, sort of force or led the young girls to sort of explore these things on their own, and sometimes that can get a bit out of hand for them. So in the end, I would like to conclude that this film, I had a blast watching this film. I would recommend it to any person who has at least who is above the age of 18. There's a lot. If you're grown up, you would find very common grounds with this protagonist, and if you are in this age of 18, 19, 20, 21, the entire film is gonna feel like as if you're seeing the life of someone what complements the film is the discordant music and the very claustrophobic camera work. It sort of makes you feel as if you are just in the shoes of this character. I would highly recommend this film. It's available on MUBI, the streaming service. You can watch it there. Thanks for tuning in.